Peace. What's going on, everybody, man? Give everybody a chance to tune on in, tap in. I'm back. I'm free. They had your boy on a 7-day ban out here, man. So it's getting real in the field, man. Good to be back to the streaming. Hopefully, man, y'all had a peaceful 7 days without your boy. But we back, man. We back in full effect, man. So I'm gonna give everybody a chance to tap on in. Y'all know as soon as I was free, I was gonna have to get on this joint and holler at y'all, man. So how y'all living? How y'all holding up? What's the word? Talk to me, man. How y'all feeling out here, man? It's been a minute. It's been a minute. They had me locked up out here, man. It's been a minute. Andronicus, peace. What's happening? What's happening, man? I'm free, man. They got me locked. They had me locked down for 7 days, man. A whole week out here, man. That's crazy. TZ, peace. What's happening, my brother? Travian, peace. What's going on? What's the word? Yeah, they put that ban on your boy, threatening to shut down the page if I get 2 more strikes within 90 days and whatnot. Y'all know how that go, though. I'm surprised I lasted that long, man. So we already know what it is. That's why we working on our own platforms and whatnot. That's the overall. That's the overall goal here. Michelle, Miss Donnie, peace. What's going on with you, queens? What's happening? Said I was out here spreading medical misinformation. That's what they said to the kid. I'm out here spreading medical misinformation. Taylor, peace. What's happening? Avery, CC, peace. It's crazy. I'm spreading medical misinformation, but then I get up on here and I see people posting videos of dudes being murdered online and ain't nothing happening to their channel. I'm seeing dudes going back and forth, calling each other all types of names, all out of their names and things of that nature. None of those people are getting banned, but I'm out here talking about the vaccine, the virus, and all that good stuff, and I get banned for 7 days. But people can post, people can upload whole videos of dudes getting murdered on live. So if I posted a whole video of a young man getting murdered on live, then we good. Nothing happens to my page at that particular point. Nothing happens to my channel at that particular point. That's cool. I can do that. I can post that. I can show another black man getting murdered live on IG, on Instagram, and talk about it. Literally show the murder happening. I can literally do that, but my page won't get banned. 7 days. Y'all won't threaten to shut down my whole page. I can post that. Moment I start talking about this vaccine, this virus, then all of a sudden, y'all threatening to shut down the pages. And I'm not the only one. Plenty of people that talked about this vaccine, they got the same type of ban, they got the same type of restrictions and threats and all that type of nonsense. But we can, listen, if I talk bad about my peoples 24/7 and call y'all out of y'all names and all this type of stuff, then I'll be good. I'll be good. Showing up on the algorithms and all of that, I'll be great. Everything be gravy. So they ain't got no problem with us doing that. But let you out here dropping some knowledge, man, dropping some truth. And you banging on them instead of banging on another brother or another sister. Oh, then they got a problem now. We got to shut it down. Got to shut them down. Medical misinformation. Medical misinformation. He spread medical misinformation. Medical misinformation. Like literally, that's what they said to me. That's what the email that they sent said. I was spreading medical misinformation. Not the fact that I'm calling some other people coons, some black people coons. No, it's medical misinformation. That's what I was spreading out here. That's what I was spreading. Oh, Avery, man, we about to talk about that fact. We about to talk about the fact that they want to give us they want to make it seem like we got freedom of speech and everybody want to talk about how good we got it here in America, but it's good to a certain extent, man. Yeah, we got freedom of speech until you say some things that they not too fond of. And they not too fond of anything that resembles the truth. So we don't have freedom of speech. When you stand on the truth, and you represent the truth and you speak the truth, you don't have freedom of speech in America. No, you do not. That freedom of speech does not apply to you, the truth seeker, the person that will speak the truth. It does not apply to you. It doesn't apply to us. We don't have freedom of speech. We do not have freedom of speech. We just don't. We don't. Avery, appreciate that donation. And I'm already knowing, man, I've been getting threatened by these people for a minute. I'm on my 3rd Facebook page. That's why I got a million different YouTube pages. Man, I got YouTube pages under names y'all wouldn't even think that was my name. You know, so I got several YouTube pages, man. So this is how I was going to maneuver around them back in the day. I just created a million different pages. I got a million different emails. Like, this is why I moved the way that I moved. Because I done had these people contact me before and whatnot, man, and just threaten me and tell me I need to watch what I'm talking about and this, that, and the third. whole while they not telling me what I'm talking about is wrong. They never said what you talking about is wrong. They just said you need to watch what you talking about. Like, that's literally what they told me. They didn't say, hey, you need to stop putting that information out there because it's wrong. Like back in the day, they used to say you just need to watch what you're talking about. I even had one of those threatening people kind of tell me what I was talking about was true. You just need to watch what you're putting out there because you got people watching your page. Literally, man, this is, y'all know those little bots back in the day. Back in the day, normally those bots would hit me. They would have like a Freemason logo on it. Those would be the people that inbox me back in the day. It'd be the person with the Freemason logo, don't have no friends on their Facebook, and they in my inbox letting me know I need to watch what I'm talking about. Or you speaking some real information, but you need to watch. You need to tone it down a little bit because you got people watching you, and the people that's watching you are not so friendly and things of that nature. Man, I got all that. Got all that. I got all that type of nonsense, man. But it's just crazy the type of stuff that we can post and talk about that don't get red flagged. But we know why that is, though. And a lot of people act like, see, a lot of people don't understand the influence that the media has on the mind. People, and this is to this day, this is why I do not like when people act like the media doesn't influence the child. The media doesn't influence the behavior of children. I can't stand when people say that because this is proof right here. This is the evidence right here. The fact that every time somebody puts out some information that goes against the vaccine, they get shut down, they get banned, video gets deleted. That's letting you know right now they control what the public sees. That influences behavior. If you don't have enough information out here that goes against the vaccine, then people won't get the truth. Then all they're going to see is reasons why you should get the vaccine and why the vaccine is beneficial. So come on now, stop acting like your child is not influenced by the media. Listen, I read it in a book years ago, and I'm not going to quote it verbatim. I'm going to paraphrase it. But they was like, listen, if you want to control the minds of the people, then you control the media. You control what they consume. And that's where the media comes into play, man. They controlling what you consume via the media. They control the information that you receive. They control the information and news that you see, that you hear. When you do that, you can control an entire group of people. You can get them to do what you want them to do. You can get them to believe what you want them to believe. If you control the media, you control the people. You control the minds of the people. That's what they doing. They control the minds of the people because they control the media. And this is an actual fact. So stop acting like your child can't be influenced by this media. Stop acting like they don't have agendas to control the mind of your child. They do. They literally do. They sit back laughing at you for thinking that you don't, that they don't. Montel, peace. Craig, you already know. DJ Elmo, peace. What's happening? Avery, for sure, man. And that's why sometimes I move the way that I move in regard like that. We gotta listen. We gotta put up smoke screens and things like that, man. We gotta throw them off. So a lot of times I would talk about this information, but the title of the video would be something completely different, and I start going in on this type of subject matter. That's how some of my videos are able to survive. Now this video probably wouldn't be able to survive. I start talking about it because of the title. So a lot of times, man, you got to title that video something different. Like that's a smoke screen. You throwing them off with that, then you just start going in on the subject matter that you really want to go in on. But this is why I'm trying to set up stuff so we can meet up in the physical. We working on an event right now, man. It's supposed we're gonna do like a yearly event, man, where we all come together. It's gonna be a big event, and that's when we really gonna start discussing the things that need to be discussed behind closed doors. See, that's how they do. That's how they move. That's how they do. That's how they move. That's how we used to move back in the day. Talking about the mystery schools, man. We used to get together in secret, a select few. That's how we used to do it. That's how we used to do it. And those who were serious about the information, they got together, they met up, they went through the process, the initiation process and stages and phases and all that good stuff, man. So that's how we used to operate. That's how we used to function. Trying to get back to that. We got to get back to that, man, because again, they regulating this internet and they've been doing this for a minute. This ain't just start yesterday. This ain't just start last week. This ain't just start last year. They've been on this. I remember I was reading articles about regulating the internet back in like 2009, 2010. So they've been doing this. They've been doing this. So this ain't nothing new under the sun. That's why I say I'm surprised I last this long. talking about some of the stuff that I talk about, man. But again, sometimes you gotta throw the smoke screen. You gotta label the video something else, then just start going in on the real subject matter. And you might slip through the cracks when you do it like that. Because again, like I said, man, we ain't got no freedom of speech, man. We ain't got that. They want to make it seem like we got that, man. One of the best ways to trick a people and deceive a people is to make it look like they are free when really they are not. Y'all know that. Y'all know that. Yeah, Avery. They on the like, and I told people, I used to speak about the keywords back in the day on Facebook. When you use certain keywords, like back then, one of the keywords for sure was like Illuminati. When you had that in your status, when you put words like Illuminati, Freemasons, FBI, CIA, when you use words like that on Facebook back in the day, man, it alerted them and it put you on a list. So they had, I think it was like red list, blue list, maybe like a black list. I forgot, but I know like the red list was one of the worst lists you can be on. So if you use that word, like, so what happened is if you put Illuminati on your status, boom, you alerted the system. So now they're going to study, they're going to research your page. And if they see you about that life, now you on the red list. But if they see you mention this key word, but you really ain't about that life, then you may go on like the blue list or something like that. But see, these lists are real. So if you mention a key word and then they study, they research your channel, your page, and they say, oh man, this person out here dropping this type of information. This person got potential to wake a lot of people up with this information. Got to go on the red list. Once you go on that red list, they are monitoring you severely. It's real in the field. They done had these lists way before the internet. They had people like Marcus Garvey, Malcolm X, MLK, the Black Panthers. They were on these type of lists. So these lists been in existence. So they've been doing this. They've been doing this. Oh, Craig, for sure, man. They don't like independent thinkers, man. They don't like independent thinkers, man. They, again, misinformation. Misinformation. Don't get me started on all the real misinformation that's out here. Don't even get me started, man. Listen, you could just go on your YouTube right now. Probably the first few videos pop up gonna be misinformation or just some straight BS. But yet these channels thriving, surviving. We come out here, we challenging something. We challenging something, and we ain't even trying to force anybody to believe something. We just challenging the status quo. We challenging things that they are telling us. And now we are a threat. We putting out medical misinformation because we not going with the flow. Nah, man, you're not going to instill that fear in me, man. I'm not one of the ones. I'm not one of them ones. See, y'all know the ones that I'm talking about, the people that's just out here getting shots because they say you might as well get it. I'm not one of them ones, man. I'm going to stand on that square. I don't care if I got to be the last unvaccinated person on this planet. I'm going to just be that. I'm going to just be that. Yeah, your son, yeah, for sure. Speaking in code, but it is what it is. Even speaking in code, they don't like that. They shut that down. I'm gonna give you a jewel, man. I got the book. I think it's Knowledge Itself, Supreme Understanding. I believe it's in that book. But like the 5%ers, the nation of gods and earths, man, they didn't allow them to speak their language in the prison. Y'all know how we talk, man. We talk about what's today's mathematics. We talk about supreme math, supreme alphabet. We talk about our lessons, 120 lessons. We talk about our lessons. They didn't like us talking like that in prison because they couldn't understand the language. So they said, no, y'all can't talk like that in this prison. They'll do stuff like that. If they can't understand the language, they're gonna be like, you know what? You can't speak that language. You can't speak that language. We don't understand what you're saying. Come on, man. Javon, peace, what's happening? Taylor, for sure. Offline. That's why I say setting up this event. The event is where we discuss. That's where we get real. Where it gets real in the field, we get deep off in the trenches when it comes to discussing strategies and just building and things of that nature. See, a lot of times we discuss too much online. And that's what gets a lot of us in trouble. That's what gets a lot of these young brothers caught up in situations that they don't need to be caught up in because you just online doing too much. You ain't got to do too much online. You ain't got to do it. You ain't got to do it. BJ Elmo for sure. And that's what they use the media for, to deceive the people, to control the people, to influence the people, to persuade the people. That's the sole purpose of the media. Sole purpose of the media. Avery, I ain't heard of him. I gotta tap into him. I gotta tap into him. Yeah, we not free, man. Somebody show and prove to me where we got freedom of speech at, man. Please show and prove to me where we got freedom of speech. Somebody show and prove that to me, man, because we don't have it. We do not have it. A lot of, like I said, a lot of times, man, a lot of people have a lot to say when we sitting around complaining about the way we get mistreated in America, and they start talking about going to other places and how bad they have it. The difference is when you go to some of these other places, yes, it's more overt, but see, you know what you gonna get. See, the problem with America is everything is like covert nowadays. So it's like it's an illusion. In America, see, we think we free, but we not. In other places, they just know they not free. That's the difference. In America, we think we got all this freedom. We think we live in lavishly, but in reality, like we not though. And that's the problem. So we got like a lot more sheep because that's the reality of the situation. It's a big illusion here in the wilderness of North America. In other places, it is what it is. Like you just ain't got no freedom over here. And they let you know flat out, this is just life right here around here. In America, now they telling you got freedom of speech. You could do this, you could do that. You can be anything you want to. You could be anything you want to be. You go to college, you do this, you get that, and you're gonna turn out to be this. And it's all a lie. It's an illusion. That's the problem with America. That's what makes America a lot more dangerous than these other places. These other places just flat out trash. But America, they giving you this dream. They selling you this dream. They selling you hope, and we buy it. Okay, so if I go to college, and I get this degree, then once I graduate, I should get this job. Then I got this family, and we live happily ever after. No, it never works like that. Select few. It works like that for a select few. So they sell us these dreams, man. They sell us a lot of this hope, and it never turns out to work that way. It's never that simple. It's never that simple. Oh, you got freedom of speech until you say something we don't like, and that don't take much because America doesn't like the truth. So if you just say anything that resembles the truth, there you go. You got a problem. You got a problem. Then they want to make it seem like things like slavery. Oh, that was long gone. That was years ago. No, it's still in existence. We still get discriminated against. We still at the bottom, literally. So like these things are still happening here in America, man. It's just more dangerous because a lot of people think that the stuff is not happening. Oh, your son, we already know why that is, man. We already know why that is. Antoinette, you already know. I feel like why see, this is how you know you saying something that's righteous and right and exact, because why would you go to the extremes to ban something, to delete something that's just going against something? Like, come on, man, that's just letting you know that, hey, what they saying is accurate. So we got to delete it. We got to remove it from the entire internet. Like they removed the entire video. Like you can't even find the video. So that's letting me know that, hey, what we saying is accurate. Because why go out of your way to delete a whole video? With all of the misinformation that's on YouTube, why go out of your way to delete that? It's a lot of misinformation on YouTube. So why you got to single that out? That's letting me know that they know what's up, man. So they got to get rid of these videos. Anything that's going against that, man, they got to say, all right, we got to delete that. We can't let anybody see that because it may cause people to think, and we don't want people to think. Yeah, Craig, for sure. And y'all already know, I'm pretty sure most of y'all can relate to being that black sheep, to being the only one in your family that's on this type of information. I already know, man. Y'all know how it is. It's a very small percentage. If you got a whole family of woke people, then you got a dangerous family. But for the most part, man, it's going to be a select few. It's going to be a select few. You may be the only one that you know of. And I'm talking about the immediate family, like the family that you know. You might be the only one that possesses this knowledge, man. When I started doing the knowledge, man, I was like the only one. I had like what's crazy, I had an uncle, which I told y'all about, man. I had an uncle that was supplying me with some books, but everybody look at this uncle like he crazy. And that's how we give you. The people that come into this knowledge itself, when we start pushing this knowledge, we get accused of being crazy. It never fails. It never fails, man. So you really got to watch who you share this knowledge with, man. Because the last thing you want is people to be calling you crazy out here, putting that type of energy into the atmosphere. So I don't be sharing a lot of things, man, with family members, man. As sad as that sounds, I just don't do it. I don't go out of my way to do it anymore. I'm gonna let them make their decisions on their own. Because again, they not listening to me anyway. So what's the point? I'm not about to keep drilling them with the information. Because again, at the end of the day, when you're dealing with adults, they're gonna do what they want to do. So I don't have time for that, man. I have time for the people that's willing to listen, for the people that's willing to build. Those are the people that I have time for. Those are the people that I'm gonna converse with, chop it up with. Not people that's just like, yeah, I hear what you're saying, but I'm gonna do what I want to do at the end of the day. Master Two, in regards to Masons, I don't when you get higher up into the Masons, man, like Albert Pikes and things like that, man, you have some form of Masons that are like wicked. But for the most part, your average everyday Mason, he's a harmless person because he don't really know anything. He doesn't know anything. Like he don't really know what's happening. He don't really know what's going on. And a lot of times that's the case with a lot of these entertainers. Like they might be, so they get accused of being like back when they was talking about Illuminati and things like that. And they was associating a lot of these rappers and entertainers with the Illuminati, with Masons. A lot of them may be a part of it, but they not at the level to which they know what's going on. So they just pawns. So like the Jay-Z's and the Kanye's and all of that, they in the dark. They ain't as powerful as people was making them out to be. They in the dark. It's a lot that they don't know in regards to that. So the everyday average Mason, and I've had Masons literally tell me that. When I was working at the bank, this business owner, this dude I always chopped it up with, I come to find out he was a Mason, and he let me know that. He say, man, I literally don't know what really be going on. I just joined the Masons for the brotherhood and things of that nature, the connections. It's like joining a fraternity and things like that. He literally told me that's the reason why he got down with it. But he said it's a lot that goes on that's above him that he knows absolutely nothing about. So your everyday average Mason literally is in the dark. So a lot of times when people defend Masonry, those are the people that's defending it, the people that don't know what's really going on. But the higher ups, like when we start talking about like Albert Pikes and you start talking about different degrees of Masons, like the higher up you get, you may get some wickedness up there, man. You may get some wickedness that's going on up there, man. But they didn't brainwash the Masons that's beneath them to make it look like ain't nothing wrong with it. But for the most part, man, what's going on up top is crazy. It's crazy. Hey, Kurt, peace, what's happening, man? Yeah, Akuma, man, they deleting everything. They deleting everything, man. But again, at the end of the day, they want to talk about freedom of speech. That's what they want to talk about, freedom of speech. Yep, the Netherlands. I didn't heard some things about the Netherlands, believe it or not. Oh yeah, Kuma, for sure, man. And I don't have time to allow those people to exist within my cipher at all. Avery, what you say? You say I'm only trying to lighten the mood, but you see how the Moors ain't tripping. Hey, well, nah, some Moors are tripping. Some Moors be on YouTube tripping. And some Moors do be on YouTube tripping. Like it's some Moors out here that be tripping. Like straight up. It's some Moors that be tripping. I know some Moors personally. Some of them be tripping. Yeah, some Moors be tripping. Dominique, peace, what's happening, my brother? Yeah, Craig, man, y'all know how it is, man. The truth is a disease here in America, man. They don't want the truth to spread at all. And it ain't even just here in America, man, but they don't want the truth to spread in general, man. But it's a lot of things, man. It's a lot of things. I want to talk about something else with y'all too. This really ain't got nothing to do with the title of this video, but y'all know how I get down, man. But I want to discuss something real quick that I came across while I was locked up, man. You know, when you get locked up, solitary confinement out here, you get time to think and you start seeing things, man. So it's something I want to discuss with y'all, man, that I have found to be crazy. Jules, peace, what's happening? What's happening? Hey, you ain't had no time to catch live. I wasn't even going live because I was locked up out here in YouTube jail. Oh, Justin, man, for sure. That don't surprise. Listen, the alphabet gangs, man, FBI, CIA, DEA, all that never surprised me when they are part of something like that. Dang, man, I'm already knowing, man. I don't know if y'all have had these type of experiences, man, but when you go around the fam, it just be awkward, man, like an awkward energy. You know, have y'all had that happen, man? You go around your fam and in your heart, like you want to have, like you want to just be like a normal family member, but like you just can't. So it just make everything just awkward. I don't know if y'all done experienced that, man, but that's where I've been at here recently, man. Everything is just awkward, man. It's just like everything that's discussed. I just have a different perspective, and it just makes everything awkward, man, because a lot of times, man, I just don't even feel like going there, man. I'm at a point now in my life, I don't feel like trying to tell adults like just commonsensical things, man. So a lot of stuff I just let slide, but in my head, I'm like, I can't believe that y'all are really still on this type of stuff, man. So it just makes a lot of things, just makes a lot of interactions just awkward dealing with family members, man. When you come in with a certain type of vibe, certain type of energy, certain type of knowledge, just makes everything awkward. And sometimes you don't even like it, man, because you're not even trying to be that way. That's just the way that you is. It's the way that you are. And it's like, it just, like a lot of times, man, I just don't even have time for it, man. So I just leave, man. Like back in the day, like you would have tried to force it. Cause like, all right, this is my brother, this is my mother, this is my father, this is my sister. Like I gotta chop it up with him. I gotta have a conversation with him. But now it's just like, nah, I'm good, man. If we ain't meshing, then I'm just gonna go ahead and leave. I ain't got time for it, man. So I don't have time for it, man. It's just not good for the mental. You know, so I've been trying to protect that mental, man, that mental health, man. It's just not good for it, man. When you got a bunch of people around you that, you know, call themselves family, but they don't be trying to hear your perspective. And then you watch them walk down a path that's detrimental and you can't do nothing about it. Like that's depressing. You know what I'm saying? That's depressing. That's like, you then embarked on a new journey in regards to your health. And you know about a lot of foods and the dangerous side effects that comes with a lot of the toxic food out here. Oh, wow, that's all they eating. And you just sitting there watching them. You just watching somebody eat their way into a grave. Like, man, that's sick. I don't want to sit around and watch that. I don't want to sit around and watch you eat food that I know is literally killing you. And then you complaining about the problems that I know comes with eating that type of food. Man, that's depressing. I can't be around it. Like, I don't want to watch you eat yourself into a coma. Like, I don't want to do that. I don't want to be around that. Like, it's just nothing personal. I just don't want to witness that. Because in my mind, like, I know you shouldn't be eating that. So then if something happens, I'm going to be like, man, I wish I would have been able to do more. I don't got time for that. Because, you know, you can't control that. You can't control what other people do. But that's how you're going to always feel. That's how you're going to always feel. So I don't have time for that, man. You just watch people just eating their way to a coma, eating their way to a grave. Man, listen, y'all know what I'm talking about, man. Y'all know exactly what I'm talking about. Y'all just know what I'm talking about. Y'all deal with it. Ms. Donnie for sure. Yeah, they out here, man. You gotta watch your back. You gotta watch your back when you come in with that message. You gotta watch your back out here. They own us. They own us. Yeah, Dominique for sure, man. Solo dolo. Solo dolo. Yeah, Lindell, man. We speak the mind. Y'all know how that go, man. It's called groupthink. They want the group to have the same mind. So when you're not a part of the group mind, that groupthink, then you a problem. You a problem. Avery, yeah, for sure. And you can add the Israelites to that. The Hebrew Israelites, you can add them to the mix as well. Man, some of them brothers be tripping. Thunder Peace, what's happening? What's happening? Dean for sure, man. They didn't try to recruit me a million times. I'm like, nah, I'm good. Like I'm good. I'm like, I ain't joining any of that, man. I'm good by myself, man. I can do whatever I want to do by myself, man. I don't need to join no fraternity. I don't need to join any of that. Man, I just recently, y'all gonna laugh, man. Shout out to my aunt, man. She had good intentions. I can't knock the intentions. But man, y'all know this is what I be trying to talk about, man. My aunt suggested that I join either the Urban League or the NAACP. Now, anybody that knows me know that she shouldn't have said that. She should not have suggested that. That was laughable. That was laughable. Like, what is like, really? Really? She was like, you need to join the NAACP or the Urban League. My aunt, where has she been the last 10, 12 years of my life to even recommend something like that? That is funny. That is hilarious. I'm like, never would I join either one of those organizations. You might as well tell me to put on a shirt that says Black Lives Matter and just go out here chanting Black Lives Matter. Like, really? Ah, come on, man. Like, I ain't doing that. Avery, they in the same exact boat. Same exact boat. Yeah, Thunder, for sure, man. And that's another thing too, man. Y'all know y'all get those vibes. You know, when you be around family, you know good and well when you the black sheep that when you walk out that door, everybody gonna talk about you. Everybody gonna talk about you. So I get tired of that, man. Kuma, she don't fool the sea moss. Yeah, Lindell, man, they listen. They can't change the kid. They can make all the threats in the world, man, but we ain't going nowhere with it. We just gonna move differently. Jules, you talking about African holistic health? Jules, I'm gonna go grab this book for you. Let me go grab it. I know exactly what book you're talking about. Jules, here go the book right here. African Holistic Health, man, by Layla Africa. R.I.P. to Layla Africa. But this the book. It's the book right here. It's the book you're talking about right here. African Holistic Health. That is the book that you are referring to. Definitely grab that joint. Dominique, for sure, man. Like I said, man, I'm getting to the point, man, where like, and I've always been that way, man. I don't really attach myself to labels and whatnot, man. So you can call yourself family, but that don't really mean nothing to me, man. It's just a label. Like, I didn't choose my family. I was born into this. I didn't ask to be here, just like they ain't asked to be here, man. So that just because we cousins and brothers and sisters don't mean we gonna get along just off the strength of a title. So I don't really care anything about that label, man. As harsh as that may sound, that don't necessarily mean we gonna get along, we gonna connect, we gonna vibe, we gonna rock. Don't mean nothing. That's just a label. I was born into a family. That's all that means. Literally, that's it. Can't force a connection, can't force a vibe. So these labels don't mean anything to me. I don't care what the label is. That means absolutely nothing to me. For the most part, that is part of the problem in America, man, simply because we think we got the label of family. Like, that's my mother, that's my father, that's my brother, that's my sister. We feel like we got to force a connection to be there. Well, if the connection is not there, it's just not there, man. I don't care what that person relation is to you. If the connection is not there, it's just not there, man. You just got to accept that. Yeah, that's your mother, man, but the connection is not there. You ain't choose your mother. You know what I'm saying? So the connection is not there. You didn't choose your cousin. The connection just ain't there. It just ain't there, man. You can't force it. And a lot of times we just try to force it. Like, stop doing that. It's almost like two people have children together and they try to force themselves to be together for the sake of the children. Whole while it wasn't meant to be. So they ends up turning out way worse for the children, opposed to if they just would have separated. So, like, man, I'm not about to force myself to be cool with somebody because they my cousin, they my brother, they my sister, they my mother, they my father, they my nephew, they my niece. Man, that don't mean absolutely anything to me. Seriously. Oh, your son, yeah, they gonna take that down. They gonna take that down. Hey, Ronald, man, that's where I was at, man. Like 10 years ago, I questioned everything. That's what got me in trouble with people. I was questioning everything, man. Religion, the way we was eating, man, what we was being taught in school. And I realized 99% of it was some BS. So that's when I grabbed it. That's when I said, forget religion. Like, listen, For the longest, man, I was, just to give y'all some jewels, man. For the longest, man, I was an atheist, man. I ain't believing none of that. I ain't believing none of that. Believing none of that. And that's the first thing that got me in trouble. Once I came with that perspective, man, once I started dabbling with studying religion and I, what they call, lost my religion, like, oh, you know how that is in the wilderness, North America, especially in the black household. You better not question religion. You better not say you don't fool with religion. You better not say you don't believe in this, that, and the third. Oh, that's it. You are the Antichrist. And that's pretty much what I was for the longest. That's what I was for the longest, man. I was there for the longest. I ain't gonna front with y'all, man. I possessed that perspective for the long. I mean, I still pretty much possess that perspective, but now y'all know the culture that I come from, the 5% nation of guys and earths, man. But if I did not have this culture, I would still be that, because man, that religion is all nonsense to me. It's all nonsense to me, man. But I used to be a lot more savage with it. Now I can chop it up with a religious person, man, and just take the best parts from the conversation and their religion. But I used to be like, man, don't come to me with that religious talk, man. I'm ready to smash on it. Because I seen too much in the church. I seen too much, man. It ain't that I read too much. It's that I seen too much. But when I started to read about it, I was like, Dad, that's what I was seeing. But I wasn't understanding what I was seeing at the time. So it resonated with me. So it just confirmed what I already was pretty much thinking at that time. I didn't understand it. So when I was reading a lot of that stuff on religion, I was like, Dad, man. So that's why when I would ask this question, about the religion to my people, they get upset because they don't know the answer. They couldn't answer it. So I started to understand things a lot more when I started to actually research it, because I never really was, I'm gonna be honest with you, I never really was religious. Never. Even though I came up in a religious household, religious family, I never considered myself religious because it never really made sense to me. I was only doing it because I was kind of forced to do it. And I was only associating with these labels because my family was. So when people was like, what's your religion? I would just say Baptist. Only reason I was saying that is because my family was Baptist. I didn't even know what it meant. So then I started asking questions. I was like, man, hey, what's the difference between a Baptist and a Christian? I'm like, it all sounds like the same thing to me. So what's the difference? People couldn't answer my question. Hey, well, it really ain't no difference. I'm like, so why am I calling myself a Baptist and this person calling himself a Christian, and we all reading from the same book? It sounds like we're praying to the same thing. It sounds like we believe in the same exact thing. Why am I calling myself a Baptist, and why is they call themselves a Christian? See, I was asking simple questions like that. I mean, it's a simple question because it wasn't making sense to me as a child. I said, it don't make sense. It don't seem like it's a difference. You know, so I was having situations like that, man. And once I started asking those questions, I became a problem. Everybody the problem child. You ask too many questions, and man, you just accept it, and this, that, and the third. You ain't supposed to question this, that, and the third. Like, what? Simple question. If I'm calling myself a Baptist and they call themselves a Christian, and I feel like we saying the same exact thing, then I feel like it's my right to ask as a child, what is the difference? Because why are we using different names? I don't understand that. So man, I didn't been there, done that. I done been there, done that, man. I done been there, done that. And it's pretty depressing, especially when you get that information as a youngin. I was getting that information as a youngin when I was in the household with my peoples and stuff like that, man. So that was just, the energy just was all bad, man, because you had to walk on eggshells around there, man. You really couldn't say what you wanted to say. You had to hide your books because people just felt like you was being motivated and inspired by the devil and things like that, man. Just nonsense, man, for just seeking information. You know what I mean? So like, I done been there, done that, man. That's why I don't shun anybody for seeking information, because I know how it feels to get shunned for seeking information. Yeah, cool, man. Like I couldn't believe my aunt, man. Like the NAACP, man. What I look like getting on here? What I look like getting on here telling y'all, hey, I just signed up for it. I just joined the NAACP. Man, come on, man. Like that don't even make sense to me to join that. Like it just don't even make any sense. Sharif and Peace, what's happening? All in Dell for sure. They really probably just catching up. Because I told y'all, man, I've been through a few Facebook pages, and I don't know if y'all remember, like this could tell my age a little bit, but back when they had Ustream. So back before you were streaming on Facebook and YouTube, used to have Ustream. Man, I used to get on Ustream and I used to talk a lot about, like, that was back again, like when the Illuminati, like people was deciphering music videos and all that. I was talking about a lot of that stuff back when Ustream was popping. So I done been on the radar, but I be moving differently. I never used to use my government name, so I used to always go by a different name. But then Facebook got tired of that, and they said you need to upload your ID. You got to use your original name, your government name. They wouldn't allow me to use any fake name. It's still people on YouTube to this day with fake names that are not their real name, but they would not allow me to do that. Rashid, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Happy born day, my brother. Underdrifter, we back. Hey, Sharif, man, hey, that book is a jewel. Matter of fact, let me see if I'm reading another health book. I done brought this health book up before. I got 2 health books for y'all, man. If y'all looking to get into the plant-based lifestyle. One of them I just finished, and one of them I'm going back to. But here go one right here, man. Vegan for Life. Good jewel, quick and easy read. It's an interesting book. It's a very interesting book on veganism. I'm gonna say that much. And then here this book go. 80-10-10. Y'all have seen me, y'all have seen me bring this book up before. I'm going back, kind of rereading it, man, because again, it's a very interesting book. 80-10-10. You gotta read this with an open mind, man. It's different. It's different. Y'all may have heard some of this information before, but it's very different though. I kind of fool with the book, but it's kind of hard to adhere to that feel like you gotta be in a certain region to adhere to that lifestyle, man. But those are 2 good health books right there, man. 2 good health books, 2 great ones. Oh, your son for sure. For sure. Hey, Thunder, man, that's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. That's where I'm at with it. Santriez, peace. What's happening? What's happening? Sweet tea, peace. Oh, Jules, man, listen. All right, man. When it comes to what I've seen in the church, I went to a Lutheran high school, and that was the most, listen, that was the most racist school out there. Like that, I experienced racism firsthand by going to a private school. First of all, that pissed me off. But just back in the day, I just saw a lot of the corruption, a lot of the nonsense. I ain't gonna say I seen the people touching the boys and whatnot. I know that that's going on. I knew that it was going on because we had some funny staff members back at the private school, the Lutheran school that I was at. Then I went to a Catholic college, you know, and we had some funny staff members on that joint. So I'm already knowing that they was out here touching boys and whatnot. Man, you just couldn't show and prove it. But we knew that was happening though. It was some suspect dudes on the staff at both of those institutions, and we knew that some funny business was going down, man. We just couldn't show and prove it, man. But I saw a lot of the corruption. I'm talking about people faking the Holy Ghost just so they can get closer to the pastor. I'm talking about the money situation, man. Y'all know how it go. They making you give all your hard-earned money to them, to the church. Whole while you struggling to keep your lights on, you struggling to feed your family, and they walking around in the newest car, most expensive crib, things like that, man. Then when they come to you, when the struggling congregation members comes to the pastor, comes to the church for some assistance, then they get shut down, they get shunned. Or they get told, you just got to pray about it. So they telling that congregation member that's having all these problems, all you can do is pray. But whole while they getting the money from the congregation. So you know that that's not all you can do, because you ain't just praying. No, you getting your money. So stop telling these people, I can't stand when somebody is going through something and somebody says all we can do is pray. No, that's not. No, that's not all we can do. No, it's not. No, it's not. No, it's not. But I've watched pastors, I've watched them say, well, all you can do is pray. All you can do is pray. Whole while you taking their money. You taking their money. You misunderstanding the scriptures, man. That 10%, that ain't got to be financial, like actual currency, actual money. It don't have to be that, but you taking that from them. You ain't gonna write that. You ain't gonna cut them a check. I'm not saying that's all of them. You do have honest people in the church that'll cut the check to the people, but I'm going off what I saw a lot of times, what I witnessed, what I experienced. Oh, they coming to the congregation, they coming to the priest, they coming to the board for assistance. Nope, all you can do is pray. We're gonna pray for you, Sister Jones. We're gonna pray for you. We're gonna pray that you find the money that you need to keep your lights on, Sister Jones. We ain't gonna cut you the check. We're gonna pray for you though. We're gonna pray for you on Sunday. I ain't got time. I ain't got time for stuff like that. I didn't have time. I ain't had time for stuff like that, man. That type of stuff, it was just wicked, man. I just saw too much wickedness, man. Like too much, too much for my liking, man. And then the part that just really seeing all that wickedness, man, that wasn't even what really turned me away from religion, because you're gonna find wickedness everywhere. If you study a bunch of atheists, you're gonna find wickedness there. You're gonna find wickedness everywhere. So that wasn't even what turned me away. It was the fact that when I started to ask questions, that people got upset. Like when you start to ask questions as a child, like that's where I had the problem. Like when you ask questions and people get upset for you asking questions, or when another child asks questions and then people either get upset or they tell them a lie instead of trying to actually figure out the truth. That's when I was like, nah, I can't be a part of this. I can't be a part of this. And then the fact that a lot of the stuff in there is just like it's mythical. And I feel like they hijack a lot of things from ancient cultures and put it in the Bible and things like that. Because again, you have you have a time period that existed before the Bible. We didn't just evolve and exist and then boom, as soon as we came into existence, it was a Bible. So you had a time period where there was no Bible. You know, so if I'm going to know that, and if I'm going to understand that, then I've got to understand that the people that wrote this Bible obviously was influenced by something and some events that transpired before the Bible was actually written. So, like, come on, man, like it's deeper than the Bible, man. So I was like, man, I'm not going to subscribe to this one book when this book is not the only book that then guided us through life. It's a book that I can use as a tool to help me through life, but I'm not about to look at this book like it's the Holy Grail, because we have people that existed way before this Bible was published. And they was living pretty good. They was living pretty good. We ain't have a bunch of heathens and savages out here before the Bible was published. Like, come on, man. Come on, man. So I just couldn't subscribe to anything. I couldn't subscribe to anything like that, man, because if I was to subscribe to something like that, then I have to write off every other culture as being incorrect. And that's one of the reasons why I couldn't fool with a religion. Because if I fool with one religion, then I got to be under the impression that all the other religions are false and all the other religions are nonsense and this, that, and the third. And the one that I'm subscribing to is right. That never made sense to me. I was like, man, I can't do that. I can't do that. It didn't make sense to me. It's like, all right, I'm over here telling you the Bible is all right and exact and your Quran is trash. Like, that don't even, like, nah, man. No, I couldn't do that. I couldn't do that, man, because it hindered your progress, man. When you was in that religion and you was a Baptist, like, you was shunned to study anything outside of that Bible. I couldn't rock with a life like that. I couldn't rock with a lifestyle like that, man. That was hindering my growth mentally. So that's one of the reasons why I really left it, man. I just felt like what Killer Priest said, religion is like a prison for the seekers of wisdom. So it's like I felt like it was some shackles on my brain and my mind, man. So I couldn't fool with anything like that, man. You ask questions, you get shunned. Then when you look at a scripture and you interpret it the way you feel like it should be interpreted, then you get told that you misinterpreting that particular verse, like it's a right or wrong way to interpret it. So it's like I ain't had time for it. I didn't have time for that. So I was gone. I was gone. So I saw a lot of corruption, but that wasn't what stirred me away from the religion, man. It was the fact that when you ask questions, people shunning you. I mean, they innocent questions, and then they about to chop your head off for asking these questions. And then if you try to do any type of research or do any type of knowledge outside of this religion, like you a criminal, man, you the devil, you this, that, and the third, like just the mentality, the religious mentality never sat well with me. I could never embrace the religious mentality. I just couldn't. It never was for me. So, like, that's my little story on that, man. I know I got to venting on that a little bit, man. I could talk about Listen, I could talk about religion for days, man, because that was something that was near and dear to me, man, because I really was trying hard to understand it. I really wanted to be that religious, but I tried, man. Like, people don't understand how hard I tried. Like, I tried. I'd never forget it. Right before I said this religion ain't for me, I literally tried to attend church with my mother like for 2 weeks in a row. And I was just sitting there, like I said, man, this just ain't it. It just ain't it. Like, I literally was trying so hard. I tried so hard to make religion make sense to me. It just never did. It never did. Brandon, and that's what I'm saying. So it's like, if a child came to me and asked me something pertaining to my way of life and I didn't have an answer for him, I'm not gonna be like, nah, don't you shouldn't be don't ask me that, don't ask me this. I'm gonna be like, you know what? I don't know the answer, but let's find out together. Let's crack open the book. With these smartphones, let's look it up real quick. Let's Google it. Let's Google it. Like, that's what I would have been on. That's what I would have been on, man. I'm not gonna be like, man, don't be asking me that. I don't know, and then just leave it at that. No, it's like, all right, you asked me something about the vegan lifestyle. It was a good question. I ain't got no answer for you, but let me find out though. That's why I make it my duty. If I embrace a lifestyle, that's why I make it my duty to do the knowledge to it, to study it thoroughly. Because if somebody asks me a question about the lifestyle, I want to be able to answer that. I want to be able to answer that to the best of my abilities, man. You should at least be semi-well versed in a lifestyle that you are adhering to. So if you a Baptist, if you a whatever, if you subscribe to the Bible, you should be well versed on the Bible. So if anybody asks you a question, whether I agree with what you're saying or not, at least you gave me an answer. But you should never be following something that you can't even answer simple questions. How you following a lifestyle you can't answer simple questions? That lifestyle may not be for you like you think it is. So I respect a religious person that when I ask them a question, they can give me an answer when it's a simple question. I don't feel like the questions that I was asking back in the day was hard. Like, why are we celebrating this? Like, why are we celebrating Christmas? Like, is this in the Bible? Like, that should be easy. That should be easy. That should be the reason why something like that should be easy, because we celebrate it every year. So like, Christmas is celebrated every year. So at some point it's to register in your mind, let me research Christmas. Like, let me see why we really celebrating Christmas. So like, if you done been on this planet for 45 years and you done celebrated Christmas 45 years and you legitimately still can't answer the question as to why you are celebrating Christmas and what it has to do with your religion, then what are you doing? What are you doing? Hey, Thunder, for sure. Yeah, they would definitely be butthurt if you said the book was BS for sure. And they do be butthurt. But then when you reading a simple science book, they let out the gate. I can't tell you how many times people didn't judge the book that I'm reading without even reading it. They don't even know what's in the book. They just see what the book is and what it's about, or they may see some type of symbol on it and be like, "Oh, that's BS." They may see they may see the Buddha on that joint and be like, "Man, you reading that nonsense?" They don't even know what's in the book. They don't even know what's in the book. They just see a different religious figure and they like, "Oh, you reading that? You reading that? Those pagan books, this, that, and the third." Like, you don't even know what's in the book. Why are you judging this book by its cover, as they tell you not to do? So I really can't stand that, man. A lot of times that's what was happening, man. I'll be having I have Elijah Muhammad on the cover, and they automatically coming to me with all type of assumptions, man. That's why sometimes, man, I just try to keep my books concealed. I used to try to keep the books that I was reading concealed. Like, man, because I ain't had time for that, man. I just don't have time for people and the assumptions, man, and just doing all of that nonsense, man. I ain't had time for that. So I was like, all right, man, I'm just conceal the book that I'm reading. Because I don't have time. I don't want to have these discussions. I'm trying to read this book. I'm trying to get this knowledge, trying to do the knowledge, man, trying to get this information. But I had something that I wanted to discuss that I'm glad I just thought about it before I forgot. But man, I was coming across something. And I talked about this several streams, but I'm starting to see it more consistently. And it's another reason why the religious thing it never sits well with me. Because so once I got out of religion, I started doing the knowledge to a lot of like Africans, like spiritual systems and things like that. And one thing that's crazy to me, and I seen a post, like When people start talking about simple things, lighting the incense, crystals, you may even mention chakras, things like that. It's people like religious people are really associating all that with witchcraft. Like, that is mind-boggling to me. That's like, people literally think if you light an incense, that's witchcraft. Like, that is, I don't really even understand that. Like, I can't wrap my mind around somebody being that brainwashed to think that is evil. Like, you walking around with crystals and talking about how the crystals are protecting you from evil, and somebody is calling that evil. Like, that, oh my God, that doesn't even make sense to me. That literally does not make any sense to me. And I've been seeing a lot more people talk about this consistently. Man, it was a Facebook post that went viral by a pastor that said something along those lines. It said, and then this is what I think I made a status, and my status said something along the lines of, people think worshiping your ancestors is evil. That's witchcraft. Literally, it's people out here that's saying worshiping your ancestors is witchcraft. That's practicing witchcraft. And I think the post, to paraphrase the post that the pastor made, he was saying something along the lines of, yeah, I respect what my ancestors did, but I was taught by my religion that you never supposed to worship your ancestors. Like, that's witchcraft or something like that. Man, it was something like that, to paraphrase it. And I was like, wait, what? And I almost snapped. I'm like, man, first of all, Malcolm X is more real to me than Jesus will ever be. Huey Newton is more real to me than Jesus will ever be. So stop all of this nonsense, man. These are real life people that I know existed, and we talking about dying for our sins and things like that. What did Malcolm X die for? What did Huey Newton them die for? What did Marcus Garvey them die for? What did Fred Hampton die for? He died for. What did Khalid Muhammad them die for? Who were they fighting for? Who are they fighting for? Please answer me that and tell me why I'm not supposed to worship a person like that. Please tell me why. Give me one good reason why I'm not supposed to worship a person like that. If you think it's evil that I got Khalid Muhammad and Fred Hampton behind me on this wall, then we cannot be friends. We cannot be cool. But if I had white Jesus on this wall behind me, you would be cool. You would be cool with that. You would be cool with that. But I got Khalid Muhammad and Fred Hampton on my wall, and to you, I'm worshiping my ancestors, and you think that that's witchcraft. Man, get out of here. Get out of here. I can get on YouTube right now and see speeches by Khalid Muhammad in the flesh, by Fred Hampton, by Malcolm, by Marcus Garvey, by Huey Newton, and I can see what they did, man. I can see the work they put in. I can literally see what they died for. I can go dig up the COINTELPRO files and whatnot and see how they was tracked by the government, and see how the government wanted them dead because they didn't want to see the rise of the Black Messiah. So your story, your parable of Jesus, these are the literal examples of that story. These are the physical examples of that story. But you want to tell me I'm practicing witchcraft out here? You want to make it look like I'm worshiping false idols? Come on, man. Stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Beautiful Goddess Keys, Peace Queen, what's happening? Stop playing with me. Like, I can't stand. That's the type of talk that I can't stand. That's the type of talk that I can't tolerate. You finna make it seem like I'm a bad person because I choose to worship my ancestors. I choose to worship Khalid Muhammad, Malcolm X, Fred Hampton, and all of these guys. People that was really and literally out here fighting for us. Fighting for us. I mean, literally, they literally died fighting for us. Literally, that's what they died for, fighting for us. And you think I ain't supposed to worship them? Nah, man, nah. No good. No good. They getting worship around here. Antonio, my brother, peace. What's happening? Your son, man. Don't even get me started. But you have a lot of them that say the good they did, and it's some churches out here that's doing some things for the community. I ain't gonna knock that. You got some smaller churches out here that's doing some decent work in the community. Got some small churches out here that's doing some decent work in the community. I ain't gonna even knock them on that. But I'm just talking about the overall ideology. Like, I could never subscribe to it and things like that. It just never sat well with me. The ideology behind religion, man, the things that you got to believe when you become a part of a religion. Like those beliefs never made sense to me, never sat well with me, never resonated with me. So therefore I could never subscribe to the life, because I don't believe in the I don't believe in the main things you're supposed to believe when you believe and subscribe to a religion. So I was like, I can't be religious. Static saying, you say body fat, solely focus on building muscle or calisthenics or just cardio? Both, all of that. You want to strength train, do calisthenics and cardio, all of that. All of that. Jules, the preacher be having 5 or 6 new cars. Five or six new cars, man. 5 or 6 new cars, man. And you done made all these donations and you barely paying your rent. You barely keeping your lights on. Terenzo, for sure. We in the building. But man, y'all got me vent, man. Y'all see why, you know what I'm saying, they be trying to flag the joints around here, man, because your boy finna go in. Hey, Thunder, that The Laws of Human Nature, that's a good book. I got that book. I don't know if it's behind me, but I got that book. That book is a jewel. If y'all don't know, that the dude that wrote the 48 Laws of Power, that he's the author of that book. And what he got? 33 Strategies of War. He got a few other books, man. Brandon, man, for sure. Hey, man, if y'all want to make some bread around here, just start your religion. That's all I keep saying it. Avery, honestly, I don't put too much stock into some of these rappers when they start, like when Kendrick said that, man, a lot of these rappers be all over the place when it comes to what they subscribe to. A lot of them, man, just be coming across information that sounds cool and they just can't wait to put it in a song. Some of my favorite artists, man, they be all over the place when it comes to stuff like that, man. Like even people like Killer Priest, man, they didn't drop some of every ideology on their songs. They didn't have some Hebrew terminology, some 5% terminology, some Moorish terminology. So they didn't have all of that. So it's like, man, even Nas, like a lot of these rappers, I don't put too much stock into that. A lot of rappers are confused, just as confused as the everyday average person. What it is they come across the information and they able to put it in a song though. So if they come across some information and it sounds good and it sounds cool, they're gonna put it in a song. So I don't really put too much stock into that, man. I ain't really too much care about Kendrick Lamar when he said that, because like I've always said, there was a time before there was the term Israelite. So what I tell people, that's why I say we the original man, the original woman, because that applies to all of that. So we Israelites, we Moors, we whatever part of Africa you want to claim, we all of that. That's what makes us the original man. So for me to subscribe to like one tribe, one group doesn't make any sense, because we all of that. We was all of that. You gonna have black, the original Hebrews, the original Israelites, black. Again, you go about to the Moors that civilized the Europeans, black. So it's like I don't care which one we were first, because we was the original man before all of that. We was the original man before we was a Hebrew, before we was a Moor, before we was a Christian, before we was a 5%er, before we was a Muslim. We was the original man, the original woman before we was all of that. Before we was an African, before we was any of that, we was the original man, the original woman. So that's what I roll with. So I don't really care what we was first. It don't even matter to me. Sharif, man, for sure, one of the lucky ones, for sure. Yeah, Dean, man, a lot of people was getting on my head, and this is how I used to educate a lot of people when it came to eating. And when they would ask me, when I was back, this is back when I let go of pork. So when I go out to eat and people be like, you know what I'm saying, why you don't eat pork? You a Muslim. I was like, why do you say that? And they was like, well, you know what I'm saying, because porks don't eat Muslim. I was like, you know that the Quran got that from the Bible. And man, I can't tell you how I used to shock people when I used to tell people that information. I was like, man, y'all know that actually, like they got that from the Bible. I mean, yeah, they got that from the Bible. So I was like, really, you are supposed to be the one that's not eating the pork. Like, so really, you should be asking somebody, are you a Christian? Are you a Baptist? Are you a Catholic? Or whatever it is you call yourself, because that's actually in your Bible. first and foremost. So when I used to hear people with that information, they was confused. They was confused. They used to get highly confused when I used to say that. Hey, Thunder, for sure, man. You know, man, I used to have all these conversations, man. And that's why I used to get in a lot of trouble, man. I used to get deep, man. I used to want to know, man. I'm an inquisitive person, man. I need to know. I need to, like, I'm gonna ask questions. Like, you can't, I'm not just one of the ones you weren't just able to tell me anything, man. Sooner or later, I'm gonna ask a question because it's not gonna make sense to me. I'm like, man, why are we doing this, man? Like, what's the science behind this? Like, I'm one of them ones. Like, I'm gonna ask, like, hey, man, why are we doing this? Like, what's the significance behind this? Like, I ain't understanding this. Oh, Dean, for sure. For sure. Oh, Zeke, man, I'm telling y'all, man, we can't make this type of stuff up, man. It's a crime, man. You meditate. Man, I done have people, man, oh man, I ain't never meditating. I ain't doing that. That's evil. That's wicked. Like, what? Like, I ain't like that type of stuff don't make sense to me. Lindell, for sure. Terenzo, oh shoot. Now that's sick. That's sick. Wife is in the building, y'all. Say peace to the wife. I'm just now tapping in to see that. Oh, your son, you said if the Bible's so bad, why do the people not follow 10 simple commandments? I mean, man, again, because it's justified. As long as you ask for forgiveness and all of that type of stuff, then you good. So that's what they gonna tell you. Yeah, man, I'm telling y'all, man, I'm telling you, boy, y'all don't know. Dude told me, man, you out here worshiping Yancey, you worshiping false idol, you worshiping Malcolm X. I'm telling y'all, man, this is what I can't make this type of stuff up, man. This is why I don't fool with that, because that's just brainwashing. That's ridiculous. Like, yeah, the sage. I didn't literally, like, I saw the status when some people was like the sage and all that straight witchcraft. I was like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute. Like, what are we talking about? Like, wow, like, when did all this become witchcraft? Like, this is ridiculous. Square piece, what's happening? What's happening? Hey, Thunder, don't even get me started on the voodoo. You better not mention voodoo, boy. And people don't even understand that. People don't even, when you start doing the knowledge to voodoo, what you don't understand is the religious background between the voodoo. A lot of the people that practice the voodoo, man, they were like Catholics and things like that. So even the religious people don't be understanding, they shunning something that is actually a part of their religious belief system. So they out here like, oh, that's voodoo. I'm like, man, do you realize a lot of people that practice voodoo, like, they were actually, like, they fooled with the Bible, they were Catholics and things like that. Like, they were actually religious people. So you, like, a lot of times, man, the religious folks be bashing people for things they do when they really shouldn't be bashing them. Cameron, you say how many religions are cults? Good question, man. That's a very good question. I ain't really got no number off the top of my head. But when you get deep off in the trenches for most of these religions, man, a lot of them can be classified as cults, man. When you get deep off in the trenches and you study some of these churches out here, they all had a cult-like mentality. Yeah, Avery, and that and that's what I was on, man. He was just pretty much. I mean, man, it's a lot of artists that did that, man. I don't know if you all know, like I'm St. Louis, man. So St. Louis artist Chingy, he did the same thing, man. He started talking. He went from like, man, what was his transformation? I can't remember if he was talking about the Israelite stuff first, and then went to like man, what was he talking about? He got real overly spiritual, like the overly spiritual talk, the metaphysical talk. I don't know if he went from that to the Hebrew Israelite talk or from the Hebrew Israelite talk to the metaphysical stuff. Can't remember, man. But a lot of these artists, man, they be so confused, they be so lost because again, a lot of times you dealing with pawns, man. You dealing with a lot of people, man, that are brainwashed, including the entertainers, man. So they don't really be knowing anything. So they may come across some information for the first time and it sounds good to them and they roll with it. But we can't trust what some of these rappers and some of these entertainers are saying because they not really researching the stuff, man. They may have just came across something, it sounded good, and they like, you know what, I'm gonna use this in my lyrics. But they not really well versed in some of the stuff that they actually rapping about. And that's one of the things that we got to understand too, is a very select few of these rappers that you can trust in regards to them being well versed in the things that they are rapping about. So when Kendrick was talking about that, man, I was just like, yep, whatever. Came across some information, man. It sounded good to him. He was like, you know what? I'm gonna put this in the song. Yeah, Jeremy, that sounds what it's supposed to be, but that ain't what it turns out to be most of the time. It turns out to be a tool to control people a lot of times, and that's the corruption. That's the corruption. Oh, Tony, man, Murphy Lee on the vegan tip, and he got body. I don't even. Yeah, Murphy Lee got knowledge of self and things of that nature. I know that on a personal end, man. But yeah, Murphy Lee be on the vegan tip, and he got that knowledge of self. He mentioned that in some of the songs, man. Yeah, Dean, man. I was confused. It wasn't that it just ain't made sense. Like I heard what they were saying, but it's like, dude, none of y'all believe this? Like, what are y'all talking about? As the tool for the most part. See, people talk about all this man-made stuff and how they don't fool with anything that's man-made, but every religion you believe in was man-made. You wouldn't have any religion if you didn't have man. So a lot of people want to talk about, I don't fool with nothing that's man-made. This is man-made, this, that, and the third. You wouldn't have any of this stuff without man. You wouldn't have any of this stuff without man. So essentially all of this stuff is man-made. It's mind-made. Let me rephrase it like that. It's mind-made. You wouldn't have any of this without the mind. So it's all mind-made at the end of the day. And that mind is attached to a man. That mind is attached to a woman. So you wouldn't have any of these things without a mind. So again, you wouldn't have any religion without man or woman to create the religion. So a lot of people don't be understanding that. A lot of people we want to talk about, they don't rock with all this type of stuff because it's man-made. Like, all right, go find me something that ain't mind-made. Like, go find me something that ain't mind-made out here. And this is where we're gonna get a little metaphysical on you. Because even when you talk about things that aren't necessarily man-made, you using a word to bring it to existence, to bring it to my attention. Who gave you that word? Who gave you that word? So we can get deep with it, man. But a lot of times, man, I don't fool with that. That's man-made. Whole while you subscribing to a religion that was created, but literally by men, like literally. Hey, Thunder, you say what was the what was the thought in St. Louis when Nelly and KRS-One was going at it? Sadly enough, the vibe was like pretty much everybody was kind of rocking with Nelly because a lot, like for the most part, man, a lot of us ain't hip around here, man. So we wasn't hip to KRS-One like that. I was more so on a KRS-One tip. But for the most part, man, a lot of people was rocking with Nelly. They ain't really feel like it was disrespectful and all that good stuff, man. They didn't know anything about KRS for real. But it's a few people probably around here that was like, hold on, what Nelly on? He tripping. He don't want that smoke. But a lot of people, man, they was ride with Nelly. They was ride with Nelly for the most part, man. They ain't really have much respect for KRS like that. Like he would have had on like the East Coast or something like that. All the shell for sure, man. That's why I say, man, the university, like that's why they call it university. Like a universe, man. It's the classroom, man. It's the teacher right there. That's the teacher right there, man. You learn from life. Learn valuable lessons from life, man. A lot of valuable lessons, man. You learn from life. Just live, man. You just live enough, you're gonna learn a lot. You're gonna learn a lot. Justin, wait a minute. What? Whoa. 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 See, that's the type of stuff. See, that's why I don't even be having them arguments, man. Because then at that point, when somebody makes a statement like that, I gotta exit the conversation. Because all right, if you believe that, then we ain't got anything to discuss. We ain't got anything to discuss out here. But that doesn't surprise me though, man. It doesn't surprise me at all that you got people that'll say something like that, because again, they'll have to give credit to man. They don't want to do that. We ain't finna give credit to these men out here. No, sir. No, sir. I'm giving credit to man. But then what get crazy though? This what get crazy when they say that though. When they say something like, you tell them society is man-made, and she say, no, God made it. But then whole while they refer to God as what? He. And they do this subconsciously. This ain't nothing that I'm just do this subconsciously. So that's funny. Like that's funny. Oh man, no, man ain't make it. God made it. And then you refer to God as he. So man made it then. Man made it then. Like, come on now. Stop playing with us. Stop playing with us. But they don't want to have that discussion, man. They don't want to have it. Master 2 for sure, man. We gonna get it, man. We gonna grassroots, as they call it, man. We definitely gonna get out here, man. Put in some work. Whether or not we exist on YouTube, like, it don't matter. We still gonna get out here and put in the work, man. They can't stop the message, man. They didn't try to assassinate all the people that came with this message, and the message still out here, man. So you can't get rid of the message, man. You cannot get rid of the energy. You can't get rid of the vibe. No matter how many people you get rid of, can't do it. What they say, energy cannot be created nor destroyed. Can't be destroyed. Let's focus on that. That energy cannot be destroyed. So it don't matter who you kill off. You can't destroy that energy though. It just transforms. So you can't kill that energy, man. So it don't matter who you assassinate. Don't matter who you kill. You cannot destroy that energy. Like, that revolutionary energy will always exist. Will always exist. You can kill as many people as you want that's attached to it, but you can't kill the energy, man. So that's one thing that they need to understand. Well, they do understand that, but they not practicing that. They not practicing like they do understand it, but they know it. They know it. Keep trying to assassinate the leaders out here, man. Keep trying to assassinate the people that's speaking the truth to power. Keep trying to silence the people that's speaking the truth to power. You can't silence that energy though, man. You can't kill that energy. You can't destroy that energy. Can't do anything to that energy. That energy is going to flow regardless. Regardless, that energy will flow. But with that being said, y'all, man, I just wanted to get back on here, man, chop it up with y'all since I'm free. I'm out of YouTube jail. May go back. Who knows? Who knows how I'm feeling? Who knows how I'm feeling? I may decide to go back to the YouTube jail, man. You learn a lot when you get locked up in the confinement out here, when you get confined. But, man, I'm going to try to keep it clean enough to where I can stay on this joint. I got about 90 days, they say, before that strike falls off. So I'm going to try to make it to the 90 days. I'm gonna try to make it. If I can, cool. If I don't, whatever, man. Y'all know what happened. If y'all ever see me missing again, y'all know what happened, man. Just to give y'all a heads up. If y'all ever see me on here not posting, not responding to people and all that, not uploading videos, y'all know what happened. Y'all know exactly what happened. But we not gonna stop speaking the truth to power, man. We not gonna stop speaking the truth. They ain't finna put that fear in me. They not about to hold me back, man. We still gonna drop these jewels, man. But with that being said, y'all, I'm out. I'm gonna try to tap in with y'all possibly tomorrow. If not tomorrow, y'all will definitely see me on Tuesday. So y'all enjoy the rest of this Sunday, man. Y'all be easy out here, y'all. I'm out. Peace.